Hey friend, hey! Listen, if this is your first time here, welcome! I'm so glad that you're here. And if you've been here before, welcome back, all right? Today I want to talk about being broken but covered, right? So I talk in, parables, analogies. I normally have acrylic nails, right? Like I let my nails grow out long, but sometimes I just take the acrylic off and I let them start over, right? So as you can see, I have no nails, no acrylic nails on. And my nails were really, really damaged. And so I said, if I can just allow my damaged nails to grow beyond the nail bed, then I can just, cut it down to the healthy nail, right? And so that's what I began to do. But something happened. As they were going out, they kept breaking and breaking and breaking. But before my nails could reach their maximum growth point, my nail broke. They all started breaking, even lower than the initial breaking point. You see, what happened was, because I didn't handle the initial break, right? It made my nails, I guess you want to say, susceptible to even more brokenness. Now we already know, if you have a crack in your windshield, if you don't take the care of the divot in the windshield and turn it into an entire crack. You don't take care of the crack, you no longer have a windshield. So that's what I'm talking about. So in our lives, when we don't take care of the brokenness, right, we end up being even deeper in brokenness, and it starts to affect every area of our life. Going back to the nail, right? My nail was broken. I said, I don't have to fix it. I can just grow it out. And then it'll heal, right? I can just cut it down to the healing part. So instead of me addressing the brokenness, the broken part of my nail, and fixing that, I just said, I'll ignore it, let it grow out, cut it down. That didn't work because the broken part infiltrated the healthy part of the nail that would have been growing out. So instead of me having one broken piece, I now have a broken piece here, a broken piece here, and my nails just would not ever reach their maximum growth point, right? Lindsay, what are you saying? I'm saying that in life, whenever you have an issue, deal with the issue. Stop pretending like it's not there. Stop trying to go a different route and thinking, okay, well, if I can just ignore it for long enough, I'll become healthy. That's not how healing works. That's not even how the healing of our nails work. Isn't that something? Isn't it something that a rock could hit a windshield and cause this mighty little divot in your windshield? But if you don't take care of it, how it affects everything. You can get a ticket from it. You can have an accident because it obscures your vision. There's so much that happens from this one little thing not being taken care of. Trauma. Trying to heal from trauma. The problem is that we want to pretend that trauma isn't there. We want to pretend that the trauma didn't happen. Now I'm talking to the strong friends. I'm talking to the people who everyone else relies on. Those people who everyone else calls on. Those people who everyone else calls to pray. Those people who are, when they are at their worst or they're at the bottom of the barrel, that they call you. That's who I'm talking to. You feel like, I should be stronger than this. I should be able to get through this. I should just be able to, work my way through it. I should be able to pray myself through it. In some situations, that's true. But in a lot of situations, it's not. I'm not talking to you from a place of me observing others. I'm talking to you from a place of me living my own life and going through this journey. Whenever anything happened in my life that I did not address and I waited and I said, it'll heal itself. Or if I throw myself into work, I'll be okay. It started to show up in other areas of my life. It started to show up in my marriage. It even started to show up in how I parent. It started to show up in all my relationships. It even started to show up in how I work because I'm opposite, right? So whenever I'm in this trauma mode, and that's what I call it, like I'm on the trauma train, right? I dig myself deeper into work. I burn myself out. And in my head, I know I'm burning myself out, but I continue to do it because it helps me ignore the trauma. But in ignoring that trauma, physically, I'm hurting myself. I told you we're talking about broken but covered, right? One of the things that I decided to do with my nails was go get dip powder, right? And for those of you who have no idea what it is that I'm talking about, here we go. Let me give you this real small, like little explanation. So there's a powder, you go to the nail shop, there's a powder that you stick your nail in, they put a little adhesive on it, you stick your nail in, and it actually covers your actual nail. It's not acrylic. And it's pretty much, they say, is the most protective way for you to actually grow your nails and create stronger and healthier nails, right? So you go, they put the adhesive, you put the powder in, they do that a couple of times, and it creates a covering over your nail. I'm going somewhere with this. So when the covering is over your nails, once it dries, even the parts that could have been broken, it begins to heal it. It also protects the healthy part from the part that was broken. Imagine that. Imagine that. Simply having a covering, being able to heal the broken part, and then protecting the healthy part from being infiltrated by the broken part. Talking about broken but covered, right? Your vulnerabilities, your nakedness, those parts of you that you want to protect, you know need healing, but you don't know how to heal. It matters who you choose as your covering, right? It doesn't matter if you're choosing somebody to cover you in prayer or to cover you as your pastor. Who you choose to cover you matters. You see, the way we heal in our brokenness is for someone to pour back into us. Again, I'm talking to the strong friend, talking to the strong family member, right? I'm talking to the mother that never gets rest, the wife who's saying, listen, this wife in life been wifing, okay? Listen, we don't even want to talk about that. Being a mother been mothering, okay? So I'm talking to you. And in your brokenness, how you're healing from your brokenness, you can't just keep going on like normal. You have to address it. You have to be accountable to another individual or individuals, and you have to have a safe space, right? And I say that because your business should never end up in the streets. So who you choose to cover you matters. Like when we're healing in our brokenness, you can't heal in the same place that broke you. And sometimes people take that literally, right? They're saying, oh, I can't heal in the same physical place that broke me. Well, here's the thing. You can't heal with the same mindset that you had when you were broken. And part of finding a covering is them being able to walk you through shifting your mindset so that you can properly heal. So that when you stick your nail down in the dip powder, that it truly protects it. That you're not putting a layer of oil in between the dip powder and your nail, which makes it not even be able to adhere or even be effective in what you need. So who you choose to cover you matters. The enemy should know by now not to play with you. But when you become broken, the enemy says, I got her, I got him. But what your covering does is restores you. Your covering gives you that protection, that where as you're healing, as the broken parts of you are healing, it's growing out. And the enemy knows that once that healing happens and those nails have grown out, because we talk about nails, ain't we, right? Or are we? Once your nails have grown out, there's only the healthy part left. The enemy knows that if you find a covering, an effective covering, a covering that will protect you in all areas of your life, that once you're healed, hell is in trouble. Who are you choosing as your covering? Are you even being honest with yourself to even say that you're broken? I know it's hard to say out loud, I need help. I'm broken. Even bruised, right? Like we're the strong friend. We're the strong people. We don't tell people those things about ourselves. But you got to be true to yourself. Every day, people are having strokes, heart attacks. They're losing their minds. I need you to understand something. You can't do this alone. You need help. And it's okay to be broken. It's just not okay to stay there. Are you ready to move from it? Or we got to revisit this conversation again? You let me know. We'll talk soon.